With international efforts towards a last-minute deal between Israel and Hamas ahead of the start of Ramadan falling flat over the weekend, the UN chief issued this call as the killing, bombing and bloodshed continues.
My strongest appeal today is to honor the spirit of Ramadan by silencing the guns and removing all obstacles to ensure the delivery of life-saving aid at the speed and massive scale required. At the same time, and in the Ramadan spirit of compassion, I call for the immediate release of all hostages. The eyes of the world are watching. The eyes of history are watching. We cannot look away. We must act to avoid more preventable death. We have witnessed months after months of civilian killing and destruction at a level that is unprecedented in all my years as Secretary General.
He pointed to life-saving relief aid for Palestinians in Gaza entering the enclave in trickles, warning further that international humanitarian law lies in tatters.
The threatened Israeli assault on Rafah could plummet the people of Gaza into an even deeper circle of hell. For months, leaders have appealed for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire and the immediate release of all hostages. But the most compelling calls have come from the families of the victims of this war. I've never forget my meetings with them, and they have stood at this very podium and addressed you, united in remarkable courage and unfathomable pain. Israeli hostage families who shared their torment and anguish and pleaded for the immediate release of their loved ones. And Palestinian families who shared heart-wrenching testimonies of family members killed in Israeli bombardments and pleaded for an immediate ceasefire. As one of those family members said, and I quote, "We are not here for condolences. We are not here for apologies. We are here for immediate action." Is that too much to ask?
This call, more than 5 months since the start of the war in Gaza and almost a year since the eruption of Sudan's civil war between two competing military factions, as desperate civilians need immediate action.
I also renew my appeal for a Ramadan cessation of hostilities in Sudan. The fighting there must end for the sake of the Sudanese people who face hunger, horrors, and untold hardships. In Gaza, in Sudan, and beyond, it's time for peace. I call on political, religious, and community leaders everywhere to do everything in their power to make this holy period a time for empathy, action, and peace. Let's not forget that beyond Ramadan, Christians will soon celebrate Easter, and Jews will celebrate Passover in April. It's time to end the terrible suffering. Now it's the time to do it.
Early indications are that the Council resolution demanding an immediate ceasefire in Sudan ahead of Ramadan has yet to significantly shift the calculus on the ground between Sudan's armed forces and the paramilitary rapid support forces. US President Joe Biden told MSNBC at the weekend that he believed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was hurting Israel more than helping the country in the manner in which he's pursuing the war against Hamas in Gaza, particularly in the context of the high civilian casualty toll. Biden warned that a potential Israeli military offensive in Rafah, where more than 1.3 million Palestinians are sheltering, would be a red line. A comment quickly rejected by Netanyahu, who said he intended to move ahead with the invasion of Rafah, indicating that his red line was preventing another October 7th attack. Shervin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.